Howdy, Possum Patty, and the entire Soggy Bottom bunch, along with pumpkins and rocks and pixies and the mess on the desk. Yes. Right where we left off yesterday, I just came up from the magical basement with this Victorian houseware, hardware, and kitchenware book. I believe I got this at the flea market, and I don't believe I've used very many illustrations from here. But the illustrations in here are awesome. And yippers, I found some spoons. Come on along. And again, this is the catalog of Victorian houseware, hardware, and kitchenware. Up-to-date prices for collectors. Oh, that's what that is. Up-to-date prices for collectors. Where are the prices? Oh, I see. The price that it's worth today is in the back of the book. Oh, I like that. And the price that it's sold for in the original catalog, in the illustrations, like these are 45 cents. Okay, so this is a like antique collector's guide, so he knows what to charge people. But I love the illustrations, and I did find these gorgeous, gorgeous spoons. There's some smaller ones. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, so I'm going to cut those out. Put that over there. And I believe I might have gotten this back when I started Howard, my steampunk journal, because of the hardware that's in here. Ooh, look at that lion's face. Yeah, I think this hardware is going to be, oh, look at all the keys. Be really cool. And locks, keys and locks. Oh, I love it. And the steampunk journal. Knobs and locks and ornaments. Letters, lots. Yeah, just lots of hardware. Ooh, yeah, I'm going to definitely cut some of these out. Lanterns. I think there's clocks. And oh, yeah, there's lots of Victorian clocks here. Look at these. Very cool, very cool. Oh, even furniture. Okay, lots of good stuff in here. Like I said, I got this at the flea market. Really haven't used too many pages from that. Oh, and I brought this up because it was down there in the box where the catalog was. Crow Patrol. I brought it up because it looked like fall. I don't know, did it come with some patterns that somebody took out? Sometimes these books have like these pattern papers in the middle, but somebody might have taken those out. But I guess I can photocopy these and then trace them on something. But I love the scarecrows and the crows and the scarecrows and the sunflowers and the witches. Oh, or I could just take this page and cut these things out and put them in the journal. Or I can just copy that and color that, right? Use it like a stamp. Copy it and color it. So I brought this up only because it looked very seasonal. It had some Thanksgiving things in it and, well, Halloween, but we only have a few more days left of Halloween. But definitely the scarecrows and the crows and the turkey and the sunflowers, some things I could do for November. Yep, getting together some things for November. Few more days left to enjoy of October. Oh, and one of the things I did today was make an apple pie with those apples I got apple picking the other day. And I will have to journal about that very shortly. I'll make a little short about how I made the apple pie because I made a short about how I picked the apples. All right, let me cut a few out and then we'll audition them. I cut out 3 spoons. I cut out the baby spoon, which looks a little small, and the mama spoon, which I don't know. I think that's perfect because I want to see the top of the spoon, and the papa spoon, which might be a little too big. Okay, so we're going to go with the mama spoon. And I decided that since these are so bendy and flexible, I went and found that cardstock that I got at the flea market the other day, 130 pounds. Okay, so this is going to be nice and thick and sturdy. Can't even bend it out there. Nice and thick and sturdy. And I'm going to glue the spoon on there and then do some journaling on the back, the mama spoon. Yes, I'm throwing everything on the floor again. Okay, so the mama spoon gets journaling and backing with very heavy cardstock. All right, I have a very colorful card with a picture of me eating pumpkin pancakes in the pocket. And Mr. Possum's got a very plain journal spot, but a very fancy spoon, yes. Sunday breakfast. Mr. Possum got 2 poached eggs on rye toast with home fries, and I put the date. And the spoon's going to go in his coffee cup, just like that. Okay, page done. Moving on. I believe everything back here has got fun journaling on it. The fair, tiger lilies, kitchen garden. All right, so I have one here, and I'm thinking maybe putting some sort of event that happened in spring or summer there. That'll be the last page. The final touch, yes. And then this is all journaled, and I have this page right here. And I believe the rest are done. I have one more flower page to do. And I want to talk about my dahlias. Yes, my dahlia tubers, because this is a mystery. The year before, I had some dahlias planted, and Mr. Possum and I went to Sturbridge Village in Massachusetts, and the gardener just happened to be digging up the dahlia tubers the day I was there, and I had a long discussion with her on how to keep them, in the basement, overwinter them, and then bring them out again in the spring, because it's too cold here to keep them in the ground. And so I did that. I dug them up and I dried them off and I brushed them and I packed them up and I put them down the basement. And then when spring came, I couldn't find them anywhere. No, I looked high and low in that basement, and I know I left them on top of the shelf and they weren't there. So I said to Mr. Possum, "Did you see those dahlia bulbs?" I said, "Did you throw out those dahlia bulbs?" He's like, "No, why would I throw those out?" I said, "Because they were in a paper bag on top of the shelf." And I know he was doing some cleanup in the basement. But he says he didn't throw them out. So, it's a mystery. So this spring I think it was around Mother's Day, and we were at one of the nurseries, the local nurseries, and they had a whole bunch of beautiful dahlias. And I'm like, oh, should I try again? So I bought this beautiful neon pink dahlia. It was gorgeous all year. The leaves are kind of like a dark greenish reddish color. Yeah, very different. Well, we had a couple of frosts, so I was thinking, no, now's the time to bring them in. And I pulled out the pot and I dug through the root. I got all the tubers loose and I spread them out on newspaper and dried them off a little bit. Well, I didn't water them a couple of days before I did all this, so they would be dry. Brushed them off and I packed them up all nice and I labeled them. And I took a big fat black magic marker and I put down Mr. Possum's name and I said, "Do not throw out." And then I put him downstairs. So let's see what happens this year. Oh, so I filmed the whole thing and took pictures. Evidence, right? evidence that I did this, because I know I did this last year. Now, Mr. Possum was trying to make me think I didn't do this. I know I did this last year. So I took pictures. I made a shorts video. I'm going to make a journal page about it. Yes. So when spring comes, I have evidence that I did that. Yes. So that's what I want to put on this page. And I'm thinking that for the background on this page, I would get some of that, brown craft paper from the paper bag, put it here and write what I wrote on the real paper bag, right? Tom, do not throw out. Make a little paper bag on here. And let's see, what else? And then, oh, you know what? I'm going to make it a pocket. Okay, I just talked myself in and out of doing that because I want the paper bag to look like the paper bag that I put downstairs. So it's got to have that big black writing on it. So then there's got to be space. Yeah, put something inside to do the journaling. Well, I've got time. It's 5 minutes before morning dove o'clock. And I can get this started. And what do I need? Okay, I have to go in the other room and get a paper bag. I think that's how I'm going to start. This is my new paper bag cutter from the aluminum foil box. I want to write on it, so I have to use the back of the bag. Okay, let me cut this down a little bit. I'm thinking that in the bag that I made, I folded the top down and I stapled it shut. So maybe I'll do that look here. I'm sort of designing this as I go along here. As always, right? As always. Do I need anything on the background beside the paper bag? I don't think so. I can look at my pretty watercolor splattered stencil page there. All right, let's see if this works as good as the saran wrap cutter. This is my aluminum foil cutter. And there's the morning dove clock. Well, I wonder if I should put the metal side down. Yeah, the edge came out a little better. See, what I'm looking for is the little jaggedy part, like what's on a real paper bag. I'm trying to get that with the little teeth here. And since we're going to fold this over and staple it, I just told myself it worked better this way. So you get that little bit of an edge there. I'm going to be able to see that. Oh, maybe against my shirt. Okay, and now I need a black magic marker to write on here. Oh, this is ultra fine. Okay, let's see. What did I write? I put Tom. Do not. Big not. Underline. Underscore. Do not. Throw out. Tom, do not throw out. Well, maybe I made it too wide. Yeah, looks like a funny paper bag, doesn't it? Okay, I'm gonna make a little adjustment here. I don't like the proportion, so I'm gonna take it down a whole inch. And I know I'm gonna have a hard time cutting it because I doubled it over. So let's see. Oh, not too bad. Okay, so, oh, yes, I like this better. Which is just out of proportion. It was messing with my sensibilities. Yes, it was. And let's just put some crazy staples on there like that. Okay, love it, love it. But now it's smaller. Oh, but not too bad. Not too bad. Glue it in the form of a pocket with my Fabri-Tac around 3 sides. Now I feel like I want something around the edge, but all right, set that aside to dry and start a journaling card. Well, I just got out my little bag of hashtag give a scrap. Lots and lots of scraps in here, saving them for die cutting and using in my journals. But it seems like the more I use, the more I have. And I pulled out this really lovely blue and yellow and white with the little birds on it. This is so pretty. I might not want to do anything to this side, except for I may go find some fabric or ribbons for the top. I printed out a picture of the dahlias when they were all in bloom. October 20, 2024, I dug up the dahlia tubers and put them in a paper bag to store them for the winter. And I might come back tomorrow and add a little more, but I can see by my bird clock that it's getting very late. Oh, and I did print out a picture of some of the tubers in the bag there, and I'm thinking about adding a picture of them, some of that bird paper. I know, I found that bird paper in the scrap bag. Gorgeous. We don't need all this paper bag, do we? No. Can make this a little smaller so I can fit it on there. Like that. Oh, perfect, perfect. And, I don't know. I feel like there's just not a whole lot on this page. I could use something along the side. I did want just this plain paper bag there, though. I mean, because this is really journaling about the moment, isn't it? It certainly is. Well, Stinky keeps knocking at the door. I know she's a big girl, but her food dish must be empty, or else I don't think she'd keep coming in here. Well, I finished the Blondie's Diner page because I found my spoon, and I started my dahlia tuber page, making my little paper bag there. Do not throw out. I know you're a big girl. I can't hold 2 things at one time. Do not throw out. But I don't know. I feel like this page needs some more. So, like last night when I said I had to go look for a spoon, and I did find one. Tonight I'm going to be, I got to go look for some material. So, you all have to come back tomorrow now, you hear, so that you see how I finish up this page and maybe start the very last page. Happy junk journaling. Bye-bye. Etiquette of the table. Rules to be observed. Sit upright. neither too close nor too far from the table. Open and spread upon your lap or breast a napkin if one is provided, otherwise a handkerchief. Do not be in haste. Compose yourself. Put your mind into a pleasant condition and resolve to eat slowly. Keep your hands from the table until your time comes to be served. It is rude to take knife and fork in hand and commence drumming on the table while you are waiting. Possibly grace will be said by someone present, and the most respectful attention and quietude should be observed until the exercise is past. It is the most appropriate time while you wait to be served for you to put into practice your knowledge of small talk and pleasant words with those whom you are sitting near. By interchange of thought, much valuable information may be acquired at the table. Do not be impatient to be served. With social chit-chat and eating, the mealtime should always be prolonged from 30 minutes to an hour. Taking ample time in eating will give you better health, greater wealth, longer life, and more happiness. These are what we may attain by eating slowly in a pleasant frame of mind, thoroughly masticating the food. If soup comes first and you do not desire it, you will simply say, "No, I thank you," but make no comment. Or you may take it and eat as little as you choose. The other course will be along soon. In receiving it, you do not break the order of serving. It looks odd to see you waiting while all the rest are partaking of the first course. Eccentricity should be avoided as much as possible at the table. The soup should be eaten with a medium-sized spoon so slowly and carefully that you will drop none upon your person or tablecloth. Making an effort to get the last drop and all the unusual noise when eating should be avoided. If asked at the next course what you desire, you will quietly state, and upon its reception you will, without display, proceed to put your food in order for eating. If furnished with potatoes in small dishes, you will put the skins back into the dish again, and thus, where there are side dishes, all refuge should be placed in them. Otherwise, potato skins will be placed upon the tablecloth and bones upon the side of the plate. If possible, avoid putting waste matter upon the cloth. Special pains should always be taken to keep the tablecloth as clean as may be. Eating with the fork. Fashions continually change. It does not follow, because he does not keep up with them, that a man lacks brains. Still, to keep somewhere near the prevailing style in habit, costume, and general deportment is to avoid attracting unpleasant attention. Fashions change in modes of eating. Unquestionably, primitive man conveyed food to his mouth with his fingers. In process of time, he cut it with a sharpened instrument and held it, while he did so with something pointed. In due time, with the advancement of civilization, there came the two-tined fork for holding and the broad-blade knife for cutting the food and conveying it to the mouth. As years have passed on, bringing their changes, the 3- and 4-tined forks have come into use, and the habit of conveying food with them to the mouth, the advantage being that there is less danger to the mouth from using the fork. The food is less liable to drop from it when being conveyed from the plate. Thus, the knife, which is now only used for cutting meat, mashing potatoes, and for a few other purposes at the table, is no longer placed to the mouth by those who give attention to the etiquette of the table. Set the table as beautifully as possible. Use only the snowiest of linen, the brightest of cutlery, and the cleanest of china. The setting of the table will have fruit plates, casters, and other dishes for general use, conveniently placed near the center. The specific arrangement of plate, knife, fork, napkin, goblet, and salt cup is shown in the accompanying illustration. It is customary for the gentleman who is the head of the household in the ordinary family circle to sit at the side of the table in the center, having plates at his right hand with food nearby. When all the family are seated and all in readiness, he will serve the guests who may be present. He will next serve the eldest lady of the household, then the ladies and gentlemen as they come in order. The hostess will sit opposite her husband and preside over tea, sauces, etc.